Good morning. We often think of business as a game of numbers, revenue, market share, quarterly growth. We treat it like a machine: input money, output success. But what if we've been getting it wrong all along? Business isn't about the numbers, it's about people. Somewhere along the line, we forgot that companies don't exist to make money. They make money to exist for a reason, a cause, a purpose. When we reduce business to just profit, we strip it of its soul. We chase short-term gains at the expense of long-term trust. We see customers as transactions instead of relationships, employees as resources instead of human beings, and then we wonder why morale is low, why loyalty is fleeting, why we struggle to innovate or inspire. Here's the truth: people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Customers are drawn to companies that stand for something. Employees give their best to leaders who care. The most successful organizations in the world didn't start with a product. They started with a belief. Apple believed in challenging the status quo. Patagonia believed in protecting the planet. These companies didn't grow because of what they sold. They grew because of what they stood for, and people wanted to be a part of it. What we get wrong about business is thinking it's only about doing. The great ones start with being clear about who they are, what they believe, and why they exist. So ask yourself, why does your business exist? What would the world lose if it disappeared tomorrow? If you can't answer that, you don't have a business. You have a product on a shelf. The future of business isn't more efficiency. It's more humanity. It's leaders who listen, cultures that care, companies that make a difference, not just a profit. Because when people believe in what you believe, they'll walk with you, work with you, and build with you. That's the business we should be in. We often fall into the trap of believing that business is all about the numbers. Revenue targets, market share, stock prices. These are the metrics we chase, the benchmarks we hold up as signs of success. But this narrow focus obscures the deeper truth. Business is fundamentally about people. Without people, customers, employees, partners, and communities, there is no business. The numbers only exist because people choose to engage with what you offer, and they'll only continue to do so if they feel seen, valued, and understood. When we reduce business to data points and performance graphs, we miss the human element that makes organizations thrive. A customer isn't just a sale. They are a person making a choice, often emotional, to trust you. An employee isn't just a line item in payroll. They are a human being investing their time, energy, and creativity into your vision. When businesses ignore these truths, they build systems optimized for efficiency, not for loyalty or innovation, and those systems eventually break. It's easy to measure profit. It's harder to measure trust, purpose, or morale. But those are the forces that build strong companies. Consider this: why do some brands have raving fans while others struggle for attention? Why do some teams show up every day engaged and motivated, while others simply clock in and out? It's not about the compensation package or the advertising budget. It's about how people feel. People remember how a company makes them feel, and that emotional connection determines whether they return, whether they advocate, and whether they stay. The best businesses don't just solve problems. They serve people. They listen before they speak. They build cultures where employees feel safe, valued, and heard. They recognize that people are not interchangeable or disposable, but are the core asset of the organization. And they lead with empathy, understanding that long-term success is built on relationships, not just results. When you treat people like numbers, they eventually walk away. But when you treat them like people, with dignity, respect, and sincerity, they become your greatest advocates. The companies that endure, the ones we admire, are not always the biggest or the richest. They are the ones that never lost sight of who they're really in business for. So if we want to get business right, we need to stop obsessing over the scoreboard and start focusing on the players. Because in the end, business isn't a numbers game. It's a people game, and people are always the real bottom line. We often celebrate the idea of a great product or an innovative strategy as the engines of business success, but what truly fuels lasting achievement is something far less tangible: purpose. When an organization roots itself in a clear, meaningful cause, something that transcends quarterly targets and balance sheets. It taps into a source of energy that no competitor can easily replicate. Purpose becomes the North Star guiding every decision, from how leaders communicate to how teams collaborate. It shapes the story a company tells its customers, creates an emotional bond, and transforms routine transactions into acts of shared meaning. In this context, profit is not the destination, but the byproduct of doing something that matters. Purpose empowers employees to see beyond their job descriptions. When people understand how their work contributes to a higher mission, motivation shifts from compliance to conviction. They arrive each day not merely to collect a paycheck, but to play a vital role in something bigger than themselves. This sense of mission ignites creativity, fosters resilience in the face of challenges, and encourages employees to go the extra mile because they care about the outcome, not just the output. Companies with strong purpose report higher levels of engagement and retention, and they weather storms more adeptly because their workforce is united by shared beliefs, not simply incentives. Customers, too, are drawn toward purpose-driven organizations. In an age saturated with choices, price and features are no longer enough to guarantee loyalty. Today's consumers look for brands that stand for values aligned with their own, whether that means sustainability, social justice, or a commitment to quality craftsmanship. When a company clearly articulates why it exists beyond making money, it invites customers to join a community of like-minded believers. This emotional connection transforms one-time buyers into lifelong advocates whose word-of-mouth promotion and repeat purchases become powerful drivers of growth. Purpose also steers businesses through uncertainty. Markets shift, technologies evolve, and crises emerge, but a firm commitment to a core mission provides stability. Instead of chasing every new trend, purpose-driven leaders assess opportunities through the lens of their foundational cause. Does this move advance our mission? Does it honor the trust of our community? This consistency builds credibility over time. Stakeholders, investors, partners, and regulators recognize that an organization guided by genuine intent is less likely to make erratic or self-serving decisions, making it a safer and more attractive long-term bet. Ultimately, the companies we remember and revere are those whose purpose resonated beyond their products. They left legacies because they weren't defined solely by what they sold, but by what they stood for. Embedding purpose into the DNA of your business isn't a marketing gimmick, it's a leadership imperative. When purpose drives strategy, it galvanizes your people, wins the hearts of your customers, and charts a course for growth that endures well beyond the next quarter. In the end, purpose is the compass that transforms a collection of activities into a meaningful enterprise, and a fleeting success into a lasting institution.